Hi, my name is Mr. Johns and welcome to Dance and Drama Matters. Our question for today is, what makes a dance interesting? We don't want a boring dance, we want an interesting dance. I don't want to watch a dance that I do not like. Right, our learning intention today is to be able to create new movement by contrasting our energy. Geez, what does that mean? Contrast my energy. And to be successful, we need to be able to create dynamic contrasts. What are dynamic contrasts? In dance, dynamic means a force that makes change, and a contrast is something that's very, very different. So a dynamic contrast is making change by being very, very different. So either having some dance moves really, really high and strong, and then going down really, really low and soft. So it's contrasting in a dynamic way. As a quick warm-up, we're going to talk about the elements of dance, because it's really important that when we make a dance, that we think about all the different elements of the dance and how they all work together to create something that's interesting. So what are the elements of dance? What are the elements of dance? I know, and now you can know as well. I like to sum them up in 6 different categories. Number 1, body. So your body is what you move. Number 2, energy. So your energy is how you move your body. So body is what you're moving and your energy is how you're doing that. S stands for space, and space is where you're doing the moves. T stands for time, and time is when you're doing the moves, and it also refers to the tempo of the dance. R stands for relationships. So are you doing the dance by yourself? Are you doing your dance with your partner? Are you doing it with a group or with the whole class or a whole big group of people? How are you doing the dance? That's relationships. And the last one is structure. And structure is really, really important because that's what gives your dance form and unifies the dance all together. So you need all of them together to make a dance, and to make a dance interesting, really. B for body, E for energy, S for space, T for time, R for relationships, and S for structure. Best R's. Best R's. Best R's. Best R's? Best R's. Best R's. Best R's! Best R's. So when we're talking about dynamic contrasts, the main element of dance that we're focusing on today is energy. So we're talking about changing the energy and the dynamics of the dance from heavy to light, so that we can make it really interesting. So our first little exercise is going to focus on heavy and light movements and how we can contrast them. Alright, for this activity, we need to pretend that we've got a box, and we're going to fill this box up with lots and lots of gold pieces. But don't you take any, I can see you, and I've counted them. I'm watching you. Alright, so we've got our box, it's pretty light right now, and then we need to fill it up with gold pieces. Gold's very heavy. I'm only going to do 3 for now, but you're all muscle people, so you need to make sure that you fill it up really heavy. Then we're going to carry this box from one side of the room to the other side. Alright, let's go. And when we get there, we need to put it down. Ow! Watch your fingers. And then we're going to take all the gold out. And then we're going to lift the box up and carry it lightly from this side of the room to the other side. Did you see how I did? It was a heavy movement going that way, and it was a light movement going that way. Well, that's what I'm meaning when I'm talking about dynamic contrasts. So we're contrasting our moves, which means they're very different. All right, so our success criteria today for the task we'll have to do is to be able to create dynamic contrasts based on the sounds you hear. So you have to be moving your body around and changing how you're moving based on the sound that you hear. So let me give you an example. So now it's your turn. So now you need to listen to the sounds that I'm going to play and then create dynamic contrasts in your movements. So it's up to you. You can move however you want, but then make sure that you're recording it so you remember what your moves were. All right, have a play around with that and then come back. Now's your time to perform it, so you need to find someone to perform your dance to, and it's a really good idea at this stage if you record yourself dancing, because that way you can look back at it later and you can have a look and see how you went. Now we've just got to ponder how we've gone. So this is a really good time to have a think about our learning and to think about what new things we've learned from today. So remember, our learning intention was to be able to create new movement by contrasting our energy. And to be successful, you had to create dynamic contrasts based on the sounds that you heard. So have a think and write it down. Were you able to contrast your movements in a dynamic way? Alright, that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Bye.